nice. A little something to start the show. I figured, I was just sitting here a couple minutes ago, and I said, I haven't heard from him. How about we pop him up, Mons? And we tried, and there he was. So we figured a nice way to start for you guys, give you a little Thanksgiving present. And as we start the show, I want to thank everybody for yesterday because I gather the Hungerthon was a, enormous success. I guess an overwhelming success. So I thank each of you who donated any $1, $2, whatever you reach into your pocket for. As an audience, you've been unbelievable. First of all, you're the most loyal audience in the world. Secondly, you're very generous. Everyone always says that my audience particularly is, and I'm very proud of that, is very generous. Don't try to hit you up too often, but when we do, you guys come through all the time. I hear that all the time. I get notes. I got one last night about that. And really, we have to especially thank the guys from Casamigos Tequila because they put everything over the top by matching every dollar donated 100%. So that's for George Clooney, Randy Gerber, Mike Meldman, and, of course, Leon Slater. That's very nice of those guys to do that. Very generous of them to do it. They go way overboard. They sponsor a lot of stuff on the show, number one. Number two, they're always very generous every time a charity thing comes up, every time. So very nice way. So, again, include Casamigos Tequila in your celebrating this holiday weekend. Of course, do it wisely. But again, they have returned the favor by being extremely, extremely generous in terms of donations. So we thank the Casamigos crew, and again, they very much go way overboard. So we thank them for that, and thank all of you too, and whoever partook in any way. We thank you for that. As they tell me, the Hungerthon was far and away the most successful they ever had. So good for us. Good for everybody. We got a lot of baseball stuff to get to. We got a lot of football stuff to get to. Obviously, see, the Bears are going to be belly aching here. They were already belly aching about the game to begin with because they're the first team since the merger to play on a Sunday night and then play on Thursday. So they were complaining about that. No one's done that since the merger, to play a night game on Sunday and then play Thursday. Everyone plays Thursday. Usually they play home game Thursday if you're going to be a road game. You rarely will see a team road Sunday, then road Thursday. That's very rare that happens. They are cognizant of that. So usually it's home Thursday, and they were home, but they were night, and they were complaining about that. Now the quarterback's nicked up. He's got a sprain, so it looks like he's out. It looks like Chase Daniel will quarterback. So, again, it shows you that Trubisky hasn't reached any status yet because the line, even with Trubisky down, has moved slightly at best. It's not, so they're saying Bears can still win with their defense, can still win with their talent because it's not a quarterback-driven team, is what they're telling you, because the line has not moved very much. And usually for quarterbacks, like if Aaron Rodgers went down, the line's going to move 10 points. Tom Brady goes down and moves, the line's going to move, say anywhere from 7 to 10 points. Same thing. Look, same thing. Those guys like that, it's going down over a touchdown. It's moving over a touchdown. Not happening here. Lions are still underdog in the game. And they were a good underdog beforehand. Now they're an extremely good underdog in that game, if that continues that way. And I don't think it will by game time. So you got that. You got the Cowboys and the Redskins. You got the Falcons trying to hang with the red-hot Eagles. The red-hot Saints. So you got that as your third game. The Saints just buried the Eagles. Giants and the Eagles on Sunday. And, of course, the Jets. And it does not look like Sam Darnold's going to play. He has not been back on the field yet. So does not look like he will be returning on Sunday. Does not. The Syndergaard stuff and what I know about it. Here's what I know about it. I was told it would take an overwhelming offer. Not that it was impossible, but that it would take an overwhelming offer. They would have to be, the words that were used to me was that they would have to be blown away. Now, what that means exactly, it's a little up in the air exactly what that means. Is he tradable? I think he is for the right deal, but they said blown away. So we'll see how that works out. And you just heard from you heard from Cash yesterday on where the Yankees are headed, another pitcher. And then they'll put the rest of the things in order. It looks like they're shopping for a shortstop, which sends me back to Manny, which I'm not in love with. And they want to leave Torres at second base, although it's easier to go the other way because there's more people that are easier. It's easier to find someone to fill the second base spot than to find the shortstop spot. That's for sure. But there's one glaring guy there that can, fill the shortstop spot and, hit a couple of home runs along the way. But he's going to take a couple of bucks off your out of your pocketbook. More than a couple, as a matter of fact. All right. So on this, it's always funny because it's always the same. When you get to this day, it's a big football day. It's, for most people, the last work week of the day, day of the work week. Some of them don't even work today. Friday is a holiday everywhere. I never understood that goofy Friday shopping day, never will. I know it's like the way it's been explained to me is, hey, you have your things that, New Year's Day bowl game, stuff like that. There's a lot of ladies, not all, because my wife wouldn't be going to one of those stores in 1,000. She's not that kind of shopper, though. She'd rather buy something online than buy it in the store. So, but there's women who that's their thing. I mean, they want to get up at 5 in the morning, have their breakfast, and run to the stores with a mass of humanity. That's okay. It's good for the economy, that's for sure. But it's crazy. And in some places, it starts tonight. I mean, it starts like today. Oh, we're going to give the first 200 people a sweater, and they're tearing each other apart, and it becomes a three-ring circus. I always wondered if you really got anything good out there on those sales. Have you got anything worth going out there for? Like, you got like a TV set for $100 or something. A real TV, like a really good TV for like $100. I don't think so. But who knows? I'm not out there. All right, let's see what's on your mind. Now, today's an always tricky day from this standpoint, too. You got a lot of stuff going on in sports because baseball is starting to percolate by the time you hit Thanksgiving. Trades, free agency, it's always that way. Then you have your football. You have your college football, Ohio State, Michigan especially. Notre Dame trying to stay unbeaten. Rivalry weekend. The only can't miss for me is Ohio State, Michigan at 12 on Saturday. Would not miss it for the world. Can't wait. Big, big game for Harbaugh in Michigan. Enormous. Is this Urban Meyer's last game in Columbus? Maybe. A lot of rumblings about that. Who knows? Doesn't seem like a very happy camp for the way this year's gone down. His defense has kind of stopped playing the last couple of weeks. They've won, but their defense has stopped playing. They've given up a truckload of yardage. Michigan's defense is good, although I didn't like the way they played the Indiana game, but maybe you can look past that. Maybe they're looking ahead a little bit. They played well against Penn State. Had Penn State 42-0 at one point. So, looking forward to that. And then if you're a big basketball fan, LeBron goes into Cleveland tonight. And it's funny. LeBron is... I remember saying this a couple weeks ago. LeBron was not going to play that game where he was off the ball and just stand around and let his team lose. LeBron is back to being LeBron, which means I do everything. You guys fit in where you fit in. I get 40, 10, and 10. I do this. I have the ball the whole quarter. I got the ball, the whole thing. He's already seen him score 44 and 51 in the last week. So, and he goes into Cleveland where, think about it. I said to you, remember I made a statement a couple weeks ago that if you had paid him $150 million, if you count everything he brought to that town, it would have been cheap. Nobody will step foot in that city. Nobody will go to a game. Look, think about how valuable he was. Think about how many games they won and where they went last year. And think about the same team. And now it's starting to splinter, but think about where it was. It can't win a game in this league. And with him, that team would win 50 games and would go to the finals. And without him, it's going to win 15 games if it's lucky. It's 15 if it's lucky. And you think about giving somebody else the MVP in this league? I mean, come on. The man's worth 50 games in the standings. It's insane. Never seen anything like it. That's how much different. He takes a team from the bottom of the league to the top of the league by his presence. And then, if you care about such things, 5 o'clock this afternoon, Duke Gonzaga. Now, Gonzaga is ranked high, but I don't think Gonzaga's in their league. That doesn't mean they're not going to play a close game this early in part of the season in Maui. I see Shambi and Dakic My buddy Boog hasn't missed too many meals lately, man. He's eating good. I love Boog. I've known him since he was I know him since he was a college catcher. Great guy, great kid. Kid to me, okay, not kid to you, kid to me. And he's become a very good play-by-play guy. But they're out in Maui, and 5 o'clock Gonzaga, which beat Arizona, and Duke. It's at 5 o'clock. And I know Villanova's not ranked. Best thing that ever happened to him. A little peace for a couple of weeks. All right, to the phones. Ken in Babylon. What's up, Ken?
Hey, Mike. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, too.
I wanted to call about the Syndergaard rumors. I think it, I guess you said that it's very early stages, but from the Heyman report, it sounds like they've already identified 6 possible trade partners or teams, which makes me believe it.
Listen, Heyman's information with the Mets is very good. Very good. Yeah. They have offers for this guy, but the Mets want to win the trade. They want to win the trade. They don't want it to be a.
So what does that look like to them? If he's a young arm.
Looks like no-brainer to them.
They don't have the depth to trade away their number 2 or 3 pitcher at this point.
Well, they think it's one of these 1 or 2 ways trades. Okay, if it's a trade with the Padres, you are trading to try and fill multiple places with one trade. Okay, they're going to try and fill 3 positions with 1 trade. It's that kind of trade.
What are those MLB ready players? Or are those
guys who are just about major league ready, top prospect kind of thing. Top
you
prospect.
Think the Padres?
But that's tricky because that's evaluations going into that.
Yeah.
Okay. You're looking about him being involved in a trade that brings you Brian from the Cubs.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. That I was talking about.
Now, Syndergaard for Bryant and not a lot. I mean, pretty much Syndergaard for Bryant, and maybe they throw in something else.
Well, what you think the Cubs would do that deal? Why? He's an MVP.
Cubs,
why would they trade him?
He has fallen into disfavor with the Cubs. That's what you hear from everywhere, is that he's fallen into disfavor. He needs to change the scenery. He's fallen into disfavor with the Cubs. Cubs got a lot of guys they want to pay. They have to pay. So they're looking to move.
If Brody could pull that off, I have to give him a ton of credit, because that would be a big win.
Listen. You're going to get value for Syndergaard. Syndergaard's a top pitcher. You're going to get value for. You could trade Syndergaard for a good trade. Anyone could do that. So they should bring back they're giving up a big player in Syndergaard. Syndergaard's a guy. Terry Collins told me last year, I think Syndergaard's got top 3 major league stuff.
Right.
He told me that last year when he did the event with me out on the island. He said to me, I think he was sitting in the room with Jay Wright and myself, and we were talking, and he said, I'm telling you, Syndergaard's got top 3 stuff in the major leagues.
That would be an amazing trade. So I actually called you on this last year, and just let in the spirit of the holidays. When you for tomorrow, what do you look forward to most for Thanksgiving, in terms of, it could be the mashed potatoes or the sweet potatoes or the corn?
I'm not that big a sit down meal guy. It's not my thing. It's just really not my thing. I'd rather have a turkey sandwich. Anyone know me? No, I mean, I'm telling you, I'd rather have a turkey sandwich the next day. I mean, I like that better than the meal. I know that maybe that's just me. I really would. I'm not that big a sit-down meal guy. It's not. I mean, I'll be tell you right now. My wife will bring me food while I'm watching the football game, because we have so many people at the house. It's just unbelievable. Mrs. O's house, we have like 60 people. So I'll be sitting there watching the football, and my wife will bring me food. I mean, that's she'll make me a plate and bring me some food while I'm watching the game. That'd be basically it. I mean, because we've got so many people everywhere sitting down that all the tables are full. We have people everywhere because we have that many people. So my wife's family is enormous. So that's just the way it is. I'm not that. It's not my thing. I'm really not that one who has to have like everything perfect at the table and all. Have to have this bread and this appetizer and this and this. That's not me. It really isn't. I look more forward to watching the late game and eating a turkey sandwich. I mean, that's just who I am. That's just me. Pete in Poughkeepsie, what's up, Pete?
Yeah, Mike, thanks for taking my call.
What's happening?
Mike, I know that you hate talking about trades between the Mets and the Yankees.
Yeah, well, it's very hard to do. I mean, they'd have to overwhelm the Mets so dramatically that it probably won't happen.
Tell me what you think about this. Now, the Yankees sign Ramos, the Phillies catcher that's a free agent. And then they turn around and take Sanchez, Bird, and Gray for Syndergaard. That gives them 2 position players and a starting pitcher for Syndergaard.
I wouldn't do it if I'm the Mets. I wouldn't take Sanchez. First of all, I don't want Bird and Gray. I mean, I'll take Bird if I'm the Mets, but I'm not giving you Syndergaard for him. Gray, I don't really care about if I'm the Mets. And he already showed he can't pitch in New York. And as far as Sanchez, I'm not against Sanchez if I'm the Mets, but I'm not giving you Syndergaard for him. So not off the year he had this year. I'm going to try. If the Yankees are trying to give away Sanchez, I'm going to steal him. I'm not giving you. You're not getting anything from that. I didn't get enough yet. If you want to talk Syndergaard with me and you're the Yankees, you have to put Torres in the trade.
Well, that's not going to happen.
Well, then I'm not talking to you. That's what I'm talking about, Pete. I'm not giving him to you unless I get Torres in the trade. Because I'm giving you a guy who could be he could turn around and win the Cy Young Award next year. How do I look then if I'm the Yankees? What if I give him to you if I'm the Mets, and he goes 22-5 for the Yankees next year and wins the Cy Young Award, and the Yankees win the World Series? How do you think the Met fans feel? And you gave me Bird, who got hurt or hit 22 home runs, and Sanchez, who was moody. I mean, see, you're trying to steal. You're trying to steal him. You can't go into a Met-Yankee trade, which is not going to happen anyway. They haven't made a trade since 2004, I think, and expect the Mets to not feel like they stole from the Yankees. If they don't, they'll be leery of making the trade because they're afraid of looking bad. And that trade, they could look real bad. That trade could backfire on them. Think about what you gave them. You gave them Bird, who never stays healthy. You gave them Sanchez, who they're not sure will play hard for the Yankees. You're going to play hard for the Mets. And then you gave them Gray, who doesn't want to pitch in New York. And you want to give him Syndergaard for that? I mean, come on. The Mets would never make that deal. They'd be scared to death. That deal could backfire right in their face. John in East Islip, what's up, John? Go ahead, John. Let me say, I lost him. Not my fault. I did that. Pete in Jersey City. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Mike. Happy holiday.
What's happening?
So the way I look at it with the Yanks, unless they're trading Andujar for like one of these big guys they talk about, you're gonna in a package, Bumgarner or
listen.
Or Kluber.
I want if I will give the Giants virtually anything for Bumgarner.
Yeah,
I'm telling you right now. If I can get him, and I don't believe you can, but if I can get him, I'm giving you anything. But, okay.
But does he have to agree to some kind of thing before that, or you don't care about it?
No, I got to have. Listen, I have to have. I have to have some cost certainty. Yes, I have to have a contract. Absolutely, I can't give you major prospects if I don't have them locked up. I can't have them walk out on me, so I can't do that. So I got to have them signed. Yes, I got to get a window to sign them. Absolutely, you got to give me the window to sign him. What's his contract status, Bumgarner? Is he a free agent after next year? I don't remember off the top of my head. You have to tell me. But if he's a free agent in the next 2 years, I have to have a chance to sign him to a contract. You got to give me 72 hours to sign him.
He's a free agent after next year.
Okay, he's a free agent after next year. Then I have to have 72 hours to sign him or the deal's off. That's all. You got to give me 72 hours. If I can't get it done, we'll call it no good deal. But I have to have him signed. I cannot give you, because that deal's going to include Torres, or that deal's going to include Andujar. It's going to include major players, major prospects. It's going to include Frazier and one of the infielders. And I can't do that if I cannot get him absolutely signed and locked up for, know I have 5 years with him. Otherwise, I can't do that deal. So I have to have a deal there that gives me some cost certainty, knowing I have them for 4 or 5 years. So I need 72 hours to make the deal work. I'll do it though. I'm willing to give you pretty much what you want if I can get Bumgarner. Now, I think the Giants might trade him under the right circumstances, but they're going to want a lot for him. I mean, a lot. Greg in Morristown. What's up, Greg?
Hi, Mike. How are you?
What's happening?
So I understand that Van Wagenen wants to do a no-brainer for Syndergaard, and I agree. I'm not in favor of trading Syndergaard, but if you get a no-brainer, fine. But I don't think in any way, shape, or form that Chris Bryant for Noah Syndergaard is a no-brainer. I don't want to do that deal at all for two reasons. Number one, you just mentioned, Syndergaard could have top 3 to 5, 7 to 7 stuff in the majors. Chris Bryant's not one of the 5 best players in the major leagues. And number
but he
two,
can be an MVP player.
He is, Mike, but in no way, when you name the top 5 players in baseball, Chris Bryant's name isn't there.
You can't get one of the top 5 position players in baseball